Alright everybody, sorry for that interruption, so now this time for sure this will be the final part. So, as I said before the phone interrupted me, Fighting Gravity, they did that. As I said, Fighting Gravity was going to get a Vegas show anyway, since they still are a great act, and I like them. They are good. So, the Blacklight performance is so fantastic. So Fighting Gravity is number 2. And now, my number 1 favorite act of Season 5 of America's Got Talent. As my number 1 favorite act of Season 5 is... It goes to ArcAttack. Now, they ended up finishing only as semi-finalists, but the reason why ArcAttack was my all-time favorite act for this season, it was because when at their audition, they auditioned in Dallas, Texas when they got and the reason why they're favorites is because they make a lot of great music with the singing Tesla coils, which produce a lot of electricity, in which the big leader, Patryk Brown, he often comes into the group as a human lightning conductor, which when he hears that, he wears a chainmail suit to avoid getting shocked by electricity, in which the electricity makes it pretty good. And it causes the singing Tesla coils to become extremely fantastic. And for their audition in Dallas, they did the Star Wars Imperial March, which I think also was my favorite of the ArcAttack stuff they did. Of course, Sharon ended up buzzing them, but yet they started getting better once Patryk did the lightning conductor and used the Tesla coils to make the lightning hit the coils, and they were so good with that audition. So yeah, they too also did not perform in Vegas, since they too were also in Group C and was put straight through. Then in the quarterfinals in the fourth group, they had for both the quarterfinals and semifinals, they had to perform outside the studio due to safety concerns. So for the quarterfinalists, they really rocked it on, doing it to Black Sabbath's hit Iron Man, which Sharon even had something to say, which she said, "The next time you do Iron Man, I know there's someone who would really love to work with you," which it makes sense since since we know Sharon's husband is Ozzy Osbourne, which Ozzy Osbourne was part of Black Sabbath, so ArcAttack really had a great thing. Of course, they ended up being left in the judges' choice between them and Anna and Patryk, which, of course, Anna and Patryk had lost the judges' choice, but they later returned in the competition as wildcards. But ArcAttack, on the other hand, they won the judges' choice, as both Howie and Sharon picked both of them, and still it was great. And then in the semifinals, to do that great piece of Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which they added a 6th person to it, which was a female. Well, she was in that cage, but at least she did not get hurt, since the electricity was enough to insulate. And yet, that music was still fantastic indeed with the coils. But I had a high hope that they would go through, but yet sadly it was a disappointing ending in the shocking, because when Nick was about to read the result, first singing the first act to go through was, instead of announcing a name, he actually said, "Oh my, no one," which led to ArcAttack's shocking elimination. But still, ArcAttack, they still are great. They would have been another act that was also would have been a big Vegas show. Oh, and they still do good with making their music with the Tesla coils, and they always do a lot. And at other shows they've done other great things too with the coils. But still, the Imperial March still never dies, as that has still been my favorite of the ArcAttack performances, as I mentioned earlier. So there you go. So ArcAttack, my number 1 favorite act of Season 5. So there you go. Okay, that wraps it up for my top 12 favorite acts from Season 5 of America's Got Talent. Sorry that it took one more part than expected because of the phone call interrupting me, but so there you go. But anyways, Hey, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. My next video will definitely be my comparison of two different versions of Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas. But until then, have a good day, and still, ArcAttack rules.